going on, guys? Colton here with Twig and Timber Outdoors and Lucky Tackle Box, and today I want to talk to you guys about what the essentials are that you actually need to go fly fishing. Congratulations, you've taken to the dark side. We're going to show you guys that realistically you don't need to be an expert caster or an expert angler at all to get started into fly fishing and have a good time. Realistically, there are only a couple things you actually need. You need a rod, and I would suggest a full flex rod or a mid flex rod, something with a little bit of give. A reel that's manageable for you, something that is not going to cost you a ton of money because most freshwater fish will realistically not be put on the reel to great effect. And a box of flies. A couple flies will do you. When you're talking about fly fishing, especially when we're talking about fly fishing on some still water, you're going to need a couple either poppers or dry flies, something that really buoyant, maybe made of foam. You're going to need some nymphs, and it's a couple streamers, and that's really all that you're going to need to get yourself started in the water. When I take people fly fishing for the first time, I always take them to their local pond for panfish. Panfish are fly-friendly fish, and they do a great job of teaching us the right and wrongs when we're fishing. Now, I've been sitting here watching these bluegills circle around for a bit, and so they look like they're pretty territorial, so I'm going to throw a little small woolly bugger on. If they're guarding, maybe they will, oh yeah, he nipped it right out of his bed. There we go. They do not like that being there. But I might be a little big for these small bluegill. I might have to go a little smaller even. I'm seeing all these kinds of strikes, but bluegill might be a little small to take this streamer. Yeah, they're in full spawn. They definitely want this fly, but it is just a little too big. Throw on a nice small streamer. Nice little bluegill. Oh, took me into the weeds here. I'll be careful not to break them off here. There we go. Nicely colored. I don't know if you can see that, but this hook, that last little small bass bent that really lightweight hook way out. So we're actually gonna chuck that streamer because that is not supposed to happen. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. This is kind of fun for me. I can see bass kind of lurking around, and I can target them, throw a streamer. The black and blue's been working, so I'm going to tie this black. I don't have any more of the same streamer because it was kind of just a messy one, but this is black with some blue, we call it some blue flash. And I'm just going to tie a non-slip loop knot in here. Nothing super fancy, but this is how I like to fish streamers. I'm testing out a new rod today. I've never fished before. It's the KASTKING Emergence, and other than the leader being much too long, so far I can't attribute any problems I've had to the actual rod, I don't believe. It's just my oversight on what the fly needs to do, and I underjudge the hook. I mean, the hook was super sharp, I could feel it, but just gotta get this. Some bluegill popping, snapping. Let's see if we can't see any more bass here. Some that I haven't already caught, I guess. And sorry if this is super shaky. I just I had the camera in the car, and I decided I wanted to take you guys on a little adventure, on a little hunt for some visible bass, some sight fishing. Oh my gosh, right there. He's not huge, but we'll see if we can't get him. His nose is down. Didn't really seem super interested. Here's some big, got some interest. Problem is I was in the grass already. I get this back out there. He looked pretty interested. He was tailing at least. That means that I gotta figure out which way he's looking. I can't see him. Oh man. This leader's way too long. I don't see him. I love the action on this fly. I'm just, because I can't see him, I'm just throwing the leader portion across where he could be. That's the best I can do in this circumstance. Oh, there he is. Okay, I see him again. Hold on. Oh. Oh, got a dragonfly on my rod. Oh, hey. snag onto a dragonfly there. Let's see. Look for him. He's still in that same spot. Can't quite see. All right, down the gunnel, and we'll just see if we can't stir him up. I see bluegill following, which is all right. Don't see that bass. So we'll try a little over to the other side. I got a school of bluegill. Interested? No dice. I don't even know where this dude is. Got almost like a jerk bait motion out of the fly. Yeah, we're clean. Oh, lots of bugs. We'll come back. We'll come back to you, sir. I see a cousin of yours over here. Let's see if I can't get a better view here. So there's some small stuff over there. This was an of-age adult that I saw. Hey, I'm not opposed to catching small bass, but if I have the shot, I will take it to catch a bigger fish. See if we don't see some more big fish. Because I'll make the moves if I need to. These dragonflies are all in my ears. Let's see. You were stuck in my shoelace, tripod. Let's see. Jeez. All these bugs. We're gonna make some moves, folks. Some small bass right there. But we're gonna target some bigger fish. Ooh. You're getting heavy, camera. There's one right there. Yeah, we'll come back if need be. Walk this way a bit. A Mickey fin on for some bluegill right now. Really tiny fly. I see a carp. So I'm gonna do my best to see if I can't convince said carp. Oh no, it didn't like that. Well, maybe I'll see it a different time. Maybe on the other side, buddy. So the other bank is not quite as clear visually, so I guess I'll just be casting a streamer and prospecting. This can get tedious and it's not as fun, but it is what it is. Basically what I'm doing is I start towards one bank, and I'll cast a fan from one bank and a half arch to the other. These black flies are pretty bad. I gotta get out of this spot. bigger beaver. Oh, just saw one hanging out over here somewhere. Lots of wind moving the water surface, so I'm kind of just waiting for the pockets of wind to slow down so I can get a better glimpse of what's just subsurface. I guess what I'm going to have to do is prospect a little bit until I can get a better view. Okay, bluegill, bluegill. No, leave it alone. Leave it alone. See bluegill, tons of bluegill. Bluegill, chasing bluegill. If I wanted to catch bluegill, these ponds probably make it easy. I don't want you. Stay off of this place. You know what? In the muck. Fly's not weedless, but maybe it's so mucky that I'll draw a bite. Get crap off of this. Man, holy bluegill parade. This is pretty crazy. The fish today seem to like the profile. And the color's right. That bass must have vacated or went somewhere else. I don't want you, bluegill. No thank you. No thank you. I know. You're tough. Pound for pound. Tough as nails. But I don't want you today. We're gonna move a little bit. Hoping that I get a shot at a carp today. But it's been just out of sight or out of casting range on a number of instances. Saw the bass I caught earlier, but I'm going to let him rest. I'll let him sit and rest. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the other videos in the playlist, the other how-tos and instructionals. And remember, you don't have to have all this crazy gear. All you need is a rod, a reel, line, maybe some tippet or some monofilament, some flies, and a pond, and you can go out and have a blast fishing for bluegill, panfish, and bass. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Again, catch you again on the flip side. Tight lines, and we're out. So we've got our spot. We've got our stuff all rigged up. I've put on a tiny little size 12 streamer. You can use nymphs as well. And all we're going to be doing is bringing our new caster, or if the new caster is you, up to the water's edge. And during this time of the year when it's super warm like this, you'd be surprised how easily you can get a fish to take your fly that is, whether the fish be cruising or guarding a bed, depending on how you feel about that. But I see a couple fish right here. I'm just going to toss my streamer in, and look at that, hook up already. I didn't like that fish. I see a big one right there. Nope, no, not you, not you. No, darn it. That's okay. So there you have it. You have your first fish. These little streamers really do the trick, and if you make them barbless, then releasing a fish for a young one is really easy. Because barbless hooks just go like that. Now to begin practicing your casting, we're going to want to get our fly and our line and our leader out straight in front of us. And then once it's out in front of us, we're going to then pluck it and flick it and stop right behind our head. So let's get this out there. Okay, we're going to go flick, up and let it sit. So what's going to happen with our cast is after we flick up and behind us, we're going to wait for the rod to completely load, and then we're going to use that energy that's developed as the rod loads backwards to push it forward. And how we're going to do that is after the rod comes behind us, we're going to let the rod load, and then we're going to initiate, after, remember we're coming to a complete stop, we're going to initiate our cast forward. So let's watch that again. Back, forward. Back, forward. Notice it's not arching, right? It's just picking up the phone, answering it by your ear, and delivering it back to the table. Very little wrist is involved. Black and blue is definitely the color, but not sure about the hook size here. He bent out the hook. This is an ultralight wire hook.